It's interesting because you said midlife crisis, and I've never really put it through that lens, but is it maybe there's something to that where you're like having a realization that like, you know, you've gone through the first half of your life and you're making work for other people and there's no real benefit to that. So it's like you want to use the rest of your life to, like, it's not like you want to change what you're doing.
Right.
But you've spent half of it making work for people, and it has, like, you know, you've worked on cool projects. Like, you've gone on tour with so-and-so and such and done edits for such and such feature film and such documentary. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you feel like you're almost kind of at that point where you're just like, you know what, the second half is for me? Like, did you reach a point where you're just like, fuck this, like, I'm done doing it for other people, like, this has been for me anyways? And
I think a lot of that started just like with the power of the empowerment that you feel when a channel that you make and something that you make yourself, you know, to help people, you know, teaching Final Cut Pro to try to help people get better at it, resonates, and there's nobody else in the mix to help, you know, to influence what video you make. Now, there's, of course, like the system, right? Well, I want to keep getting views and adding subscribers, and you let the analytics and all that stuff sometimes hijack your perspective on what you're going to make because you're chasing numbers, and that's a very, I think, natural trap to fall into for anybody, even if you're not making work on the, you know, the commerce side, like for a YouTube platform. But if you're, like I was saying earlier, an artist that kind of gets known for this thing and you just keep doubling down on that because it's moving things forward in that aspect of your life, whether it's financially or more gallery showings or, you know, whatever it is that you think is important to you. And maybe is, not to undermine if that stuff is important to somebody, that it's, you know, not valid. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I think that kind of burning down the house when you have that realization. Yeah, when you have that realization that, you know, I've done a lot of cool things, and I certainly am proud of the stuff that I've done. But ultimately, I feel like it serves what someone else is trying to achieve, and I'm sort of a cog in that wheel. And sometimes I'm a really respected collaborator in that process, but there's something about, and granted, you could argue, well, you're a cog in the YouTube wheel, or you're a cog in the art world wheel. Like, you're always going to be a cog in the wheel. If you made some great gallery showing with your photographs, like, somebody who's quote unquote above you is going to try to co-opt that thing or absorb that thing. I don't think it's like a purity
argument, and you're going to get, if you get sucked into that, you're already playing a losing game.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, I go, I have an idea for a video and I want to share it with everybody, and I'm going to make it the way I want to do it. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it's not my best effort. Maybe it is. And, you know, if I can step back and be proud of what I made and then see the results that matter to me, especially when you're experimenting and kind of creating a little bit of chaos and blowing things up a little bit to start something, not start something new, but take it in a new direction, and reconceptualize it, whatever you want to call it.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer and summer.